Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pips and simps, welcome back to the Mac Life, the number one podcast here in the world. We're back for episode 149. Now, if you're new to the channel, we go over absolutely everything to do with growing your brand online, monetizing that brand, Onlyfans marketing for creators, and Onlyfans management. And recently, some news reaction and just straight up business advice. Now, if this is the first video you've ever watched, okay, we're not just here on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Music, Rumble, we're everywhere. So I do these in a podcast style format. So essentially, at the start of the video, me and you, we get a little bit of time to connect, and then we get into the main topic towards the end. And today I'm going to explain to you something that I've kind of talked about before, but I'm really going to break it down today. And it's the biggest opportunity within the OnlyFans industry for both creators and managers. You follow this, you cannot lose. It is exactly the thing that I have implemented and I've got hundreds of other people to do. It's the most foolproof way to make money with OnlyFans. And more so than that, there's a whole range of benefits, but I'm not going to get into them yet, okay? So stick around for the video. And I have a request. This is the first time I've asked anyone for this. You know, I haven't made this request before. But more than subscribing or liking or commenting, if you're in the OnlyFans industry, okay, or in business at all, find one friend you would like to share this podcast with and just share it to one friend. Because for me, when I was first introduced into the online business world, I stumbled across a video from Tai Lopez. That was sort of the first ever business thing that I'd ever really watched that got my attention. And whilst you may like Tai Lopez or not like him, okay, that was really the starting point. He drawed me in with the Lambo, and then it was about reading. And so I become heavily invested in reading. And if I never did that, I never would have continued my career in business and to grow and build the e-com stores and then the OnlyFans agencies and make all this money. So really, if I could be that for someone else, which I already know I have been for thousands of people that have messaged me, that means more to me than the money. So if you can share this with one person who you think my podcast would help, that would be a massive favor. So go ahead and share it with just any friend. Or if you have a friend who you want in the industry with you, share it with them and you two can work on a business together. Okay, so we've got a few little updates to get into today, and then we're going to get into the OnlyFans content at the end. But I want to talk about just the growth of the YouTube channel. You know, I like to be transparent on every single video. I've talked about this. And it's crazy. I've talked about the quadratic growth that's been happening. And, you know, I think yesterday I said we were at like 570. Did I say 570? Yeah, I don't want to mix up numbers because there's subscriptions and there's AdSense. So I said for AdSense, I was getting around 570 USD already from YouTube for these videos, which is massive. Like massive for such a small channel. That today, within the space of a day, has gone ahead and updated or upgraded and updated to 620 USD a month is what I'm getting paid now. Now, yesterday with YouTube as well, when I clicked to check payments, because I really haven't done it before, lucky I just come across it and it popped up in my mind. I thought, oh, I better update my AdSense because I already had AdSense before YouTube because I had a blog that I monetized and was making money off that in the early days. So I tied the two together. And essentially, when I clicked on it, it said, you're not getting paid because you need to update your payments for some new tax thing in the US, because now on YouTube, if you're a US viewer watching this, which 50% of you are based on my analytics, or 46.7% of you are, they now tax 30% of that. They take 30%, which is absolutely filthy. So, you know, it is what it is, but I had to update. I had to send through some forms and stuff and show that there's treaties with Australia, so I get like a 5% reduction or something. Not that it's that important, but it will be at a later stage, but it had to be done or they don't send the payments anyway. So that's how quick we're upgrading. Like, it may not seem like much to jump from 570 to 620, but you have to think, when I started YouTube a year ago, it would take a month to move up like $10. Once I got monetized, it was like, you're earning $40 this month. And then another month later, it was like, you're earning $50 this month. Another month, you're earning $62. But you can see how now it's compounding and compounding. And before I talk about the reasons for that and how you can do the exact same thing within your business and YouTube, I've got one more stat there. And yesterday I said, you know, we hit 555 subscribers. That's what it's growing by per month. 555 subscribers. Again, within the space of one day, That's now updated to say, oh, actually you're gaining 580 subscribers a month. I used to gain 30 a month. So within the space of a day's update, it's now saying what you used to do in a month, you've added that to your day. You've added that to your month, but that's coming daily. So that'll just continue to grow. And like I said, it's exciting to watch. Not because of the money and stuff I know that will come with it, but more so just because of the fact that it's like you put in a year's or even longer. I think the first video I dropped in the e-com stuff was 2020 December something. So really nearly like a year and 9 months, nearly 2 years of hustle on YouTube. And it's funny because only now is it starting to build and compound. And in a few years from now, when people go, oh, fuck yeah, but you have a massive channel, so I couldn't do it. You have an audience, you have this. It's like, yeah, but I started at 0 and I grew that from that to this with hard work. And more so than hard work, what I want to talk about today, which has caused this massive quadratic movement, isn't just the stage 2 scaling, which I've been talking about, is the stage 2, the end of the beginning, but increasing volume. The amount of work you put out each day, it reflects. Figure out how you can increase the amount of volume that you put out. And so, throughout the whole time on YouTube, I started off one video like a month or every couple months. It was sporadically. Then it became one a month. Then it became one a week. Then it became two, maybe 2 or 3 sometimes a week. Then I was like, I'm going to go hard out and do one a day, which seemed impossible at the time. I got it to one a day fairly consistently. And then I was like, I'm up it to maybe 2. Now I'm pumping out 4 videos a day. And what used to seem hard was, I'll try and get out a video a month. That used to seem hard. Now I'm doing 4 a day. So you don't understand, like if I was doing 1 per month, that is 4 months worth of work that I'm doing in a day. 4 months work. What would take me 4 months before, I can now do in a day. So you need to look at your own limitations and think, are you really putting in volume? And this leads into the next point, which is a lot of people say, I want to get rich, I want to make money, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'll do anything. This is the message I get all the time. I'll do anything to get there. And I give people the exact roadmap. Do this. Put out this much volume. Do this. They do it for 1 day. Maybe not even. I'll be ready from Monday to give it my 100%. Monday comes around, how'd you go? Oh, well, actually, I was busy. You don't want it bad enough then. You don't want to be rich bad enough. That's all it comes down to. You don't know your whys. Because if you want to be rich bad enough, okay, you would do what it takes, especially when someone tells you what it takes. If someone's generating 50 to 100 million a year and they tell me that what I'm doing right now is completely wrong, 100% I need to do it like this, then I shut the fuck up and I would do it. If they said you need to be putting out 12 videos a day, my man, figure out how to do it, there would be 12 videos a day being released. You can guarantee there would be every day without fault. Okay, 80-20 principle, because we're humans and we have, some human error in there. But 80-20, we're pumping out 12 fucking videos a day. So that's all it is majority of you don't want it bad enough. And like people say, yeah, but YouTube's your passion, this is that. I used to know nothing about computers, absolutely nothing. And when I fucking lost my job and I was sitting in my mum's room and I Googled, this is what I Googled, how do people become rich? Okay, it was something like, how do people become rich? Well, most people that become wealthy, they start companies, they do this. And then I was like, oh, what companies do they start? 90% of them are tech companies. And I was like, I know nothing about computers. And then in my mind, I thought, but neither did these people when they were born. They had to learn it. So what's stopping me learning it? Even if it takes me longer, it doesn't matter. I can still learn it. And if 90% of the population isn't doing it or 99% of the population isn't doing it, I've already put myself in a 1% competitive market. Like I've already massively increased my chance to make it. So that's the approach I took. And that's what I want to get to people is, you develop a love of the game by becoming an expert at it, by putting in the reps. You don't have to be passionate about it. I was not passionate about computers. Website building seemed like the most boring thing in the world to me. All of these things. And YouTube, YouTube videos, it was a chore. And now it's like, it's become what I crave to do each day. If I miss a day of putting out a podcast or putting out a YouTube video or working on my business, I go nuts. Like I've had days where people are like, come on, you need to rest. You need to do this. You've got this going on this. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a day's rest. And I try and rest throughout the day. And all I can think about is, fuck me, I need to get to work. I want to get to work. I'm addicted to it because nothing else brings that level of dopamine. And that only comes from volume over time. you do it enough times, it becomes a pattern. Exact same thing as drinking a coffee. I can't remember. I used to function just as well without coffee. And then my grandma, I used to go to her house in the mornings when she was still alive. And she used to say, oh, can you make me some toast and a coffee? And I'd say, of course, Grandma. And I'd make her some toast. I'd make her a coffee. And then I'd be like, coffee is actually not so bad. I'll have a coffee with you. And then I had a coffee. And now I cannot. It's not that I cannot, but it's just become a daily thing where I don't even think about it. It feels, if I don't wake up and I don't get a cup of coffee, it's a weird thing. And you want to do the exact same thing with volume, okay, with your business. You want to get it to a point where you're like, it feels weird if you're not putting in the work. And once you have that kind of almost internal ally on your side, you're unstoppable. So, if this is your first podcast you've watched as well, these are the way in which I do these. These are business principles. This is advice. This is stuff that personally, I'm just giving advice of what's worked for me to try and help speed up the process for you. And on top of that, I'm documenting my journey because my end goal here is $100 million net worth by age 50. And I've still got 25 years to do that. I go 25 long fucking years to get there, or 24 years to get there. So I 100% know it will happen. And I 100% know I'll hit the $100 million net worth. But it really ties into this, which is you should have that big goal, but realize it may never arrive the day that you're constantly searching for to be the highlight. And that day is it's not even going to be that great, because even the day when I say I sign out a deal and it's like Joe Rogan with Spotify for 100 million, I might be happy for 4 or 5 minutes that I've done it. And then it's like, okay, what's next? So you really have to be able to be happy in the moment. It's really, really important to realize that even the thing you probably want so much, just like everything else you've ever wanted in the past that you've got, it's only really good for maybe a couple hours or a day or a week at most, and then it's back to normal. It's back to searching for more. And not that there's nothing wrong with continuing to grow and continuing to build, but you need to be more present and happy in the moment. It's very, very important. So I think, the last 2 updates is that, everyone talks about reading. I'm big on reading and reading books. I spent like I said, I've read over 700 books on marketing, psychology, and business. However, this year, I've read 90% less books in total than what I've read any year. Like, I've read 90% less than what I've read. So, or the better way to phrase it would be to say I've read 10% as much as normal. But yet my net worth has grown tremendously because I looked at the phrase of information overload, and I can't remember the exact day, but there was a podcast on it, and I was driving in my car and I was just thinking, like, I have so many conflicting bits of information of what should be focused on, what's this, what's that. And I was like, let me make it very simple. Pick one person who I think is credible, that I trust, that I believe in their process, and apply their information strictly, maybe 2 or 3 sources at most. Stick with it a year and see how it goes. And that's what I've done this year. I took on Alex Hormozi, and I was like, 100%. He's turned over 150 million. He come from nothing. He had multiple losses, which is a big thing in his business, to have the failures and then come back from that. So I was like, I'm just going to apply his lessons very strictly and focus on getting information from one source. I've done that, okay, and my business has grown tremendously this year. So information overload, if you're feeling overwhelmed with all the information that's out there, even if it's not me that you're picking, unsubscribe from everyone else. Unfollow everyone else. I've done this on socials. I don't reply to anyone anymore on socials. Cut out all the excess information. Pick one person. Listen religiously to what they say, because you're going to vet if they're credible. You're going to vet if they're trustworthy. You're going to put all these metrics in place and then just stick with it. And then it doesn't just have to be one. It could be a handful. Like, I've got one for YouTube, like a YouTube mentor that I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to focus on for YouTube. This is the grind for YouTube. Alex Hormozi I listen to, like, this is a business mentor. This is the fundamentals and the principles that I need to learn and apply. And then I have, a coach overseas. I have my coach for jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. And I just have very specific things, but I've reduced all the information. And so that's worked insanely well for me. The last thing I want to say is I'm going to do a reaction video next. I'm keen to see the iPhone 14's coming out. Apparently it's amazing. Like, it's got a way bigger lens on it. So the camera shoots in 8K. The cinematic camera, which is what I'm filming on now, which is in 1080p, this will shoot in 4K from the front camera in cinematic mode, which is nuts. They've changed a whole heap of shit with it. So Mostly to do with the camera. That's the reason I want it. But I'll be onto that straight away. So yeah, I'll do a review. And then I'm thinking like even that might even be a Hive giveaway. I might give away a iPhone 14 in the Hive or something. People said, oh, people are keen on the Versace robe too. Everyone just keeps bringing it up. Since I did like a little thing of mentioning it before, everyone's like, fuck the Versace robe, do it. But I think the OnlyFans merch would be cool for the first one, just because it's like, it's part of the Hive community. Or even, you know, if I make custom Hive hoodies and jumpers and do giveaways for those, so that we can build our community as like the Hive mind. Like, I don't even wear any Hive merch because it would be such a fuck around of time. People say, why don't you sell merch? Like, the margins are they're not even there. And then you have to fuck around with order fulfillment and all these things. So if I was to do any Hive merch, it would just be a giveaway. I would just create the design, or we could create it within the Hive. We can order it in and then do little giveaways. So, you know, but I want to give away what people are excited about as well. So if you're in the Hive, let me know. And you know the dumbass comments I get here? Bro, I sent you a DM. Bro, reply to your DMs. Bro, check your DMs. No, motherfucker. I ain't checking my fucking DMs. Do you know how many people I get? I have 600 new fucking subscribers, like I said, every month, just on YouTube alone. A mass amount of people following me on Instagram, a mass amount of people following me on Facebook, and then I'm getting messages from all these sources. I will not check your DM. If you're not in the Hive, I won't reply. And like I had some chick that I replied to one comment or something, and then she waited and commented on some other video, and she's like, oh, how can you even make this money if you don't reply to people? It's like, that's why I make this money, because I'm not sitting there wasting fucking time replying. And I've talked about this, the sunk cost of replying, because if I reply to you and you say, hey bro, da-da-da-da-da, okay, and I reply, that's not a one-off thing and it's done forever. You're going to reply. Then I have to read that. Then I have to re-reply. And that can go on infinitely, wasting my fucking time. And if it sounds harsh, that's the way it is. I don't care. So, you know, I looked at it as well as, Brad Lee said this quote, and it was like, and I hate it too. People say, hey bro, can I pick your brain? It's like, no, motherfucker, you can't just pick my brain. All this cumulative information and knowledge that I've put in the works and the grinds and the reps to get, and you just want to pick my brain if you're not even a fucking member inside the Hive mind. No, you can't pick my brain. And more so than that, you've sent the fucking question, can I pick your brain? You've wasted my time just to send that question rather than saying, hey bro, I'm having a problem with signing up girls on OnlyFans. And then adding shit to it. Some people say, hey bro, how do I sign up girls on OnlyFans? Shut the fuck up. You haven't even searched through my videos and you want personal help? It's like, if you said, hey bro, I'm having trouble signing up girls on OnlyFans. I've tried this, this, and this. I'm getting this much in ad spend. Do you have any idea what could go wrong? I might reply to that. I might see that and go, this motherfucker's actually sent a message. He's tried some shit and he's given me some data to work with rather than just, hey bro, how do I sign girls up on OnlyFans? Motherfucker, are you insane? Are you insane? There are 100 videos you could search out there, not just to me, but other people showing you. You're just lazy. It's laziness that we just, because we're so used to Googling anything now. In the past, if you had something that you wanted to solve, you had to, it was a massive fuck around to figure that out before the internet. Because a lot of kids these days were born with the internet. I was a kid without the internet. If you wanted to know a question, you had to seek an adult who you thought knew and wasn't just joking and gonna fuck you around, and you had to ask a question, and 99% of the time they didn't know, so then you'd have to experiment. If you're like, what happens if an ant gets separated from its colony? You can Google that now and figure out, people have done video experiments on that. As a kid, if you wanted to find that out, you would have to find an ant colony in your backyard, take a single ant, separate him, and then write down notes. If that's ethical study or not, I don't know. But write down your notes and figure shit out. And in today's age, we've become just so to the point where we just ask instantly. We're just so baseline level. We ask, and then people get salty when they don't get fucking instant responses. And so, you know, I feel like all a business is information arbitrage. If you're an OnlyFans creator or agency, the only reason I make more money than you with OnlyFans agencies and creators and consulting is because of the fact that I know something that you don't. I have access to information that you don't, or I've put in more volume over more time. They're the only equations. So you should do whatever it takes to get that information. If you have to pay for it, pay for the information. I don't understand this thing where people don't pay for information. Like, and I know it's, when I worded it, it sounds like, oh, he's just selling a course. But it's really, how is it not that simple? That if someone has something that you want and you can make an exchange to accumulate that's going to bring growth faster, why wouldn't you do it? Think about a video game. If you have like 100 fucking coins and you could buy something for 100 coins, that makes it so that you get coins 25% faster for life. Why the fuck would you not be buying that? That would be the first thing that you would buy. That makes the most sense. And yet we don't do that in life. We don't do that with skill acquisition. And it doesn't just have to be with wealth and finance. It can be with any skill. Want to get good at jiu-jitsu? Hire a fucking coach. You wouldn't try and figure it all out on your own. Go get a coach. Get a black belt coach. Pay for privates, okay? Cut the time frame. Look for people who have done what you've done before and then do that. So I don't know how I went off on this massive rant, but we started off about the iPhone 14 for this rant. This is why I love the pod. Anyway, let's get into the OnlyFans content. Like I said, don't hit subscribe, don't hit like. Just share this with one friend who you think that would find this valuable. Maybe I'm the personality that they need to get them motivated for business. I know I'm definitely not everyone's cup of tea. I come across very energetic, very arrogant, very narcissistic. But if it helps even one person be like, you know what, this is the kick in the ass I need to get going, and then it sets them off down of a chain of events and they don't even remember me in a few years, I'm fine with that. Just share it with one person who you think this would help. So let's get into it. Agencies and creators. Now, I've talked about this at the start of the video, but really the biggest opportunity in OnlyFans today, and once I tell you don't go anywhere because I'm going to break down each little bit of how to do it, is to utilize YouTube. YouTube is not going anywhere. It's owned by Google. It has the power of not only being the biggest search engine in the world, Google, but then the second biggest search engine in the world, YouTube, and tied together. For something to beat YouTube, have a think about it, it would also need to combat against Google because Google has the power to de-rank that massively. So when you're searching it, it can shadow hide these other websites that are starting to compete with it at any stage. Google is the monopoly in this. And sure, there's ethical codes of practice and business and stuff, but Google's been known to break these multiple times, and you don't think that it won't? Okay, it's going to push all ads across all platforms and all things to this anyway. It might just put up banner ads on their fucking website to push you back to YouTube. YouTube isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Billions of hours of content being added a year. YouTube isn't going anywhere. Trust me. If you dedicate the next year as an OnlyFans creator or agency to YouTube, your business, I can guarantee you'll be further ahead in your business than where you are now. If you dedicate a year, and I'm going to speak on volume in a second and posting schedule and some little specifics for both creators and managers, but if you dedicate a year to this, you're going to be in a wildly different place to where you are now within your business. And so if you're thinking, I'm a creator though, how can I get this to work for me? How can I, I create, I'm an OnlyFans content creator. How could YouTube work for me? You have so many ways. Don't think about monetization yet. Think. Document your journey. Other people would love to watch you grow. This is what I've applied. This is my first week as an OnlyFans creator. This is how much money I made. This is how I set up my account. My verification failed. This is how I fixed it. Look at all these things that you're already putting out, valuable content. I got my first subscriber, yay. I made $12 this month. This is what I spent my $12 on. OnlyFans took 20%. I didn't know that. I had to pay tax on this $12. Okay, you're already starting to accumulate this follower base. I made $1,000 by applying this. I lost $500 when I worked with this agency. Oh my God, I tried another agency and I made an extra $6,000. This is working great. They used this. Now I know about this. And you start to build out your community. Monetization comes later. So you can just document your journey, as simple as it is. And then once you build up, you don't have to start as an expert. People like authentic shit. You don't have to be like, this, I'm the expert on this topic, and this is this and this. Just document your journey. Show your wins, show your losses, show your failures. People like authenticity. And what you're going to do is you're going to build up this big collection of girls that also may be creators or thinking about starting, or not only do you have simps that will watch your videos and then go across and become OnlyFans subscribers, you have girls there that you're building up, and you can say like this, You have infinite monetization opportunities. You could say, look, I'm going to shout out 20 different creators a month, and I'm going to charge only $100. And so I'll do it one each day, and then I'll have 10 days of nothing. It's $100, message me. If you have even 1,000 subscribers, you will sell that out every single month. You have just added $2,000, okay, pure profit to your business like that, and you're helping other creators. And what you can say on top of that is, monetization strategies are endless. You could say, it's $100 for you because I have a bigger audience, plus I will tag you in my next YouTube video, and, okay, you have to re-shout me on your Instagram, on your TikTok, and on your OnlyFans. And that may not sound like much, and that may only get you maybe 3 additional subscribers, but when you times that across 20 girls' accounts, that's 60 new subscribers a month for you as well. And if you have the correct upsell ladder, you monetize heavily. So the most important lesson that I'm trying to give you is build your audience. And if you're saying, oh, I'm nervous on camera, then great. Fantastic. How many other girls are nervous on camera? Imagine the transparency and honesty that you can convey. This is my first video. Oh, it's shaky. Yeah, the lighting shit. Sorry, I didn't understand lighting. Haha. I'm mega nervous right now. Oh God, I'm embarrassed. I don't know what to talk about. But anyway, I'm starting my OnlyFans account. Fantastic. That's authentic. People like that shit. You're going to get people who relate to that. Oh my God, girl, you're a boss bitch for starting. Plus, you're gaining character traits that are going to serve you for life. You're building up your ability to speak on camera, your ability to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, your ability to say, you know what, even while nervous, I am going to learn to perform, okay? And the most important thing that you're doing is you're building a fucking powerhouse community. Don't even worry about monetization. Eventually, you'll have AdSense revenue. You can have people doing shout for shouts. You can have people clicking through your referral link, which is instant when they set up their account. Then you're getting a percentage of their cut from OnlyFans. There are infinite ways to monetize. Just start. Take the first step. And what I'm going to give you is the posting schedule, and then I'm going to talk about this for agencies. Remember I talked about volume at the start? The only reason that I didn't burn out is because I posted what I thought I could do, and then I stuck to it. I didn't quit. The thing is, 99% of people will over-calculate what they can do, and they say, you know what? This Mac Life, he's fucking right. I'm gonna post 8 videos a day, and you'll post 8 videos day 1, and then you'll fucking sizzle out by day 2. That will be it. You'll post 3 the next day 1, and then that is it. Just say to yourself realistically, I'm gonna post 1 a month, and then I'm gonna commit to that. Or I'm gonna post 1 a week, because you should be able to do 1 a week. I'm gonna post 1 a week for 2 months, and I'm gonna commit to it no matter what. I'm gonna commit 100%. I'm never gonna miss one for 2 months. That's only 8 videos. If I need to schedule them in advance, I'll do that. But I'm going to get it done. And then once you've done that, you say to yourself, you know what? I was fucking right. I did do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to up it to 2. Okay? I'm going to up it to 2 videos a week. Then I'm going to up it to 3. Then I'm going to up it to 4. Then I'm going to up it to 1 a day. And depending on the amount of volume that you put out, if you say to me, 1 a day is impossible. I do this, this, and this. If you're putting out a video a day for a year, within the space of a year in the OnlyFans game and how easy it is to monetize and how lucrative it is, you won't have a 9-to-5 job to worry about. Your job will be to push out a video a day on YouTube and then work on your OnlyFans business. That will be it. And that is very fucking doable. Now, if you're an agency and you're saying, yeah, well, how does this apply for me? The exact same thing. People love transparency. We hired a girl. We hired her from doing cold outreach. We messaged 300 people. Only 1 replied. Here's a funny story about a Karen who went absolutely nuts when we tried to sign her up. Here's a story of making our girl's first sale. Oh my God, she changed the password on us and left and pulled a Swiftie on us and kept all the money. We know for next time to learn to control the accounts and the emails and change the emails. What a big plunder that was. You're just documenting your process and your process as a human and your process of learning. And the exact same thing. Your monetization strategy is very, very simple. Here we are. This is us. We're authentic. This is what we're doing. We're working to get better day by day. If you want to work with real people who are going to take the best care of you, no, we're not professional yet, but we're working on it and we're inside the hive mind because we have such a powerful community of people who can help us. Links down below in the description as well for both creators and managers. We love to work with new girls and take on ladies. we have an agency landing page below, and then you drive traffic to that, and then you constantly build up to the point where you have a funnel of girls, hot inbound coming in saying, I already make 6K a month, what could you do to help me? I already make 5K a month. Imagine the point where, rather than just focusing on marketing, you have such a hot inbound list, you're just vetting girls, and you're like, yeah, well, I'll bring her on board, we make some micro changes, help her with this, and then we have another 5K a month coming in. Oh, I'll help with this girl, make another 2.5K a month coming in. Work on this, Okay, we have this much more coming in. You become a fucking powerhouse. And then on top of that, as an agency, I don't know why agencies all want to build into like selling a course like it's the hottest fucking thing. You can make so much money inside of OnlyFans by just doing OnlyFans correctly. As I said, selling a course is infinitely harder than selling titty pictures. So just actually focus. People think that like constantly pursuing the newest business idea is what's going to make them successful. And it's not. It's about putting in the volume, putting in the work, as the Big Mac Show said. And just sending this video to a friend who you think would find valuable. So hope you've enjoyed today's video. I need to put my Invisalign in. I've had them out for fucking ages again. Put my Invisalign in. 3 more videos to film. Volume, and just enjoy the process, everyone. So, hope you enjoyed today. Send this video to a friend. I'll see you all in the next one. Baka.